Alright, what's up guys? So, welcome to a Moss Gets Athletic video. And in today's video, I overall want to talk on sports athletes contracting the virus, COVID-19. Should sports shut down again? And I feel like with each and every sport, there's been some outbreak. There's been, well, I don't know, I didn't really hear too much about basketball, but was there after everything went back to normal, was there any outbreak? Well, I know when they were doing this whole bubble thing, then yeah, you didn't really hear any things, but with NFL and then wrestling. Well, I know what wrestling. See, I don't, cause WWE. It was like they were only going to one place, so how could they have gotten the virus? I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell with WWE, but AEW, I didn't really hear too much about them, but I think they had some cases. NFL, they just recently started getting some cases, and I'm like, I can see NFL like might putting the season on hold, up until something like that'd be crazy if it's like the Super Bowl if it happens like in the summertime or something, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm like that would be wild. It seems like the sport athletes they just putting in a lot of work right now, and it's something where it's like I personally, if it was up to me, like what would I do? My thing is like safety comes first. A person's safeties come first. So I'm like, is there like another way that you guys can go about this? Like, is there a way you guys can go about this where nobody is getting sick, nobody? And if they say no, then I'm like, okay, then it probably would be best if everybody just stayed home. Not as much as you guys would like to see sport athletes, do their thing, but I'm like, I just think that right now it's not the best time to be doing that. So that's why I'm like, I would definitely will put that recommendation out there. Can you guys like find something to do in the comfort of your own home? It's one thing where it's all like if you and another basketball player like you guys decide to do like, so how like when the artist was doing the verses and stuff, if you guys decide to do that like a one-on-one thing, then that can be something like that, but just play it safe, make sure everybody is safe. But I'm like, I just feel like everybody crammed in like an area and stuff. I feel like that's not good. And then on top of that, then they was all like Pete Carroll, because I'm a Seahawks dude. So what was up with NFL finding Pete Carroll? How much was it? It was like 200 and something $1,000. Pete Carroll fine. There's like fine for a mask $100,000. I'm saying, so if we're gonna speak on that, that's why I'm like, okay, NFL, if you're gonna be finding people that much money for not wearing the mask, then I think it's probably best if you guys just shut the season down or not even have started the season. I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. Where it's you find somebody like that, I'm like, look, I'm not saying that Pete Carroll is one of those guys where he's like, oh, I don't want to wear my mask and stuff. But if it's like hard, you gotta understand. Dudes running back and forth. Them masks, I'm telling you, depending on what type of mask you get, it can be like hot at times. So I'm saying like, it probably would be best if he did wear a mask. But me, like, me personally, like I said, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have had nothing started. I was like, unless if there's another way, then all right. But if there's no other way, then I'm like, okay, we ain't gonna go about this. It just looks like this season isn't gonna start. But I personally just don't, I think that fine was just a little bit too extreme. I'm like, I wouldn't fine somebody 100. I'm like, dang, it's like them Seahawks, man. I'm like, that's crazy. Freaking what? First it was Marshawn Lynch, now it's, I'm like, bro, that's some insane stuff. There probably might have been some more that I missed out on, but yeah, I personally just don't think if there's, like I said, if there's another way that sports can go about this, like that's why I'm like, maybe if 2K and Madden was just a little bit better in things, then yeah, then they probably would have had like the season like some virtual stuff. But then they was probably out, because I think I remember them talking about that where they was like they wanted to do like a virtual gaming or something like that. But then there's just like, oh no, these video games is trash. Like we can't have these guys play these games. So I'm like, yeah, 2K and Madden could possibly came out with some good games, then would have seen something like that. But them games ain't good. So there ain't no really other sports game out there where it's like it's good and all. So that's what I'm like, yeah, maybe FIFA. maybe that, yeah, or that PES game, but I don't really. But it's like, yeah, with LeBron James playing FIFA, like, like for the NBA championship. I'm like, yeah, that's they should, yeah, just have like a virtual like championship thing. A few players go up against each other. But imagine a player though, they do that and then one got poor connection and he keep lagging out. Oh, that would be funny. That's what I'm like. It would be funny, but I'm like, yo, you guys would need like a better stable game rather than that NBA 2K or Madden. I'm like, them games is trash. So I'm like, yeah, it'd probably be best if they didn't do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I personally think that they should they should work on this a little bit more. Figure out like a solution, figure out a way for players to not contract the virus and stuff. Because it seemed like a lot of players, wrestlers, just sports athletes and all together and things. It's like they're getting it. And I know when before basketball shut down, it's like a lot of players is getting it. So yeah, it's a crazy thing. But how do you guys feel about it? Do you think sports should continue, or do you think sports should just wait on it and stuff? And yeah, just when things go back to normal, then we bring sports back. But anyways, this has been another Moss and Hip, or not Moss and Hip Hop. Moss Gets Athletic. Moss and Hip Hop is a hip hop channel that I run. You guys can go subscribe to that. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.